Hello everybody and welcome to our channel, Movie Vibes. Once upon a time, a man named Wenwu discovered 10 mystical rings that bestowed great powers upon him, including immortality for thousands of years. He used his powers to conquer kingdoms and found his own organization, the 10 Rings, which he named after himself. He ruled the world from the shadows throughout history. In his quest for greater power, he discovers Ta Lo, a hidden ancient village said to contain martial arts secrets and powers from another world. Wenwu sets out in search of Ta Lo. He is driving through a forest when the trees around him suddenly begin to move, chasing after his car and throwing it out of the forest and off a cliff, which Wenwu barely avoids. Even after nearly dying, he returns to the forest, where he meets a woman who informs him that she is the guardian of Ta Lo and that he must leave. He refuses, and they have a major brawl. Wenwu is confident in the strength of his 10 rings, but the woman holds him back. After exchanging more blows, the woman surprises him by seizing control of his rings and launching him into the air. They eventually fall in love, and have 2 children as a result. One of the kids is Shang, and the other is Shang, Shang-Chi's sister. The mother tells Shang about Ta Lo's stories. She informs him about Ta Lo's great dragon protector. She also gives him a pendant, which he is told will help him find his way home. Fast forward to the present day, where we see Shang-Chi and his friend Katie working as valet drivers. On their way to work one day, they are attacked by a gang of thugs who want his pendant. He fights back, surprising Katie with his fighting skills. He begins to beat up the thugs, however. The fight remains one-sided until a large man with a sword for an arm enters the fray. Although Shang-Chi dodges all of his blade attacks, but the bus's brakes are cut during the fight. The bus is now out of control and the driver is knocked unconscious. While Shang-Chi fights off the big guy, Katie takes the wheel. He continues to avoid the swordsman, but the bus begins to split in half. Shang-Chi manages to kick the sword guy out of the bus before it splits in 2. Finally, the bus comes to a halt. Shang-Chi notices his pendant has been stolen. He rushes back to his apartment to pack his belongings, while Katie is terrified of what has just occurred. He tells Katie that he doesn't have time to explain things, and that he needs to locate his sister, who is in possession of the other pendant. He received a postcard from her sister in Macau, which makes it easier for him to locate her. On the other hand, Katie informs him that she will accompany him, which Shang-Chi initially refuses but eventually agrees to. Cut to a few years after the death of Shang-Chi's mother, and we see Shang-Chi being trained torturous by his father. He studied various forms of martial arts and developed assassination skills. Returning to the present day, they arrive in Macau and locate an underground fighting club. After his fight on the bus, Shang-Chi has gone viral. He must first fight with others in order to find his sister, so he strips down and enters the ring. Boom! It turns out that his sister Xiaoling is the one he must fight. Xiaoling does not appear to be pleased to see her brother. Shang-Chi tries to persuade his sister to stop fighting, but she refuses, so he defends himself. Xiaoling recalls a time when they were both younger and Shang-Chi abandoned her. He said he'd be back in 3 days, but he never showed up. Xiaoling finishes him off with a headshot to the ground, collapsing Shang-Chi. They get together after the fight to straighten things out. Shang-Chi informs her that his pendant has been stolen, and he has come to locate her using her postcard, but she informs him that she has never sent him a postcard before. An attack occurs shortly after, and Xiaoling flees without assisting his brother. It turns out that it's those thugs again who Shang-Chi fought back in the bus. Shang-Chi and Katie escapes out of the window. He tells Katie to go first while he fights assassins. Shang-Chi fights assassins with his full strength and one of them is after Katie. Katie gets knocked off and falls, luckily she gets saved by Xiaoling. Xiaoling then joins fight with her brother. An explosion occurs and Xiaoling's pendant is stolen by a ninja. Shang-Chi is on the hunt for the ninja. He manages to catch up to him and prevent him from fleeing. The two of them fight, and Shang-Chi emerges victorious. He attempts to finish the ninja but is thwarted by some rings. It is revealed to be his father, Wenwu, and the family is reunited for the first time in 10 years, and they return to Shang-Chi's childhood home. Wenwu informs them that their mother is still alive but imprisoned in Ta Lo, and that he plans to rescue her and return her to them. Because Shang-Chi was present when his mother died, Shang-Chi does not believe him. Wenwu places the two pendants in the dragon statue, and water erupts, forming a map. It's a map that shows how to get to Ta Lo through the forest. Wenwu plans to visit Ta Lo in 3 days and enlists the assistance of Shang-Chi and Xiaoling. What happens if the people of Ta Lo reject him? Xiaoling wonders. We'll burn the village down, he declares. Shang-Chi disapproves of his father's plan and refuses to assist. Wenwu binds them and imprisons them in the dungeon. They hear some strange noises and investigate, where they run into Trevor Slatter, the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. Wenwu also managed to capture him. He was imprisoned but was later set free by a member of the Ten Rings organization and transported to Wenwu's compound. He tells Shang-Chi, Katie and Xiaoling that Wenwu was going to kill him before launching into some Shakespearean monologues. Wenwu kept Trevor alive to delight everyone, seeing him as more entertainment than threat. Trevor is genuinely delighted to be doing so. Trevor has a strange furry friend, a creature from Ta Lo that can communicate with Trevor and wishes to assist them. It can guide them through the forest and get them to Ta Lo before Wenwu arrives. Xiaoling bursts through a brick wall. They discover that there are tunnels beneath the compound that they can use to flee. They pursue Xiaoling and steal a car to escape, but they are pursued by Wenwu's men, so they escape by the skin of their teeth. They travel to the forest and enter the maze, where they must now use Trevor to listen to the creature. The trees start to move and follow the car. Katie is led to Ta Lo by Trevor. They were surrounded by trees, and it appeared that the forest had closed in on them. However, thanks to the creature, they make it through the woods. They've arrived at the Ta Lo's entrance and are about to enter through a portal. They arrive in a beautiful land with more strange creatures beyond the portal, and they make their way to the village. The villagers as soon as they arrive in the village, but they are not pleased with their visit until a woman walks up. It's their aunt who's calling. She extends a warm welcome to them at Ta Lo. Shang-Chi informs her that their father is coming to destroy the Ta Lo because his father believes that Ying Li, Shang-Chi's mother, is still alive and trapped behind a gate in Ta Lo. Their aunt tells them that Ta Lo people are guardians of the gate. There was once a dark dweller who devoured many of Ta Lo's souls. Ta Lo's people tried to fight the dweller, but they were no match for them. The Great Protector defeated the dweller and successfully sealed it behind the gate. The people of Ta Lo begin to make preparations for the arrival of Wenwu. Katie tries to help the people of Ta Lo, and as a result, she is sent to archery training. Katie began learning to shoot and, to her surprise, she was quite good at it. Shang-Chi locates his aunt and requests that she train him. He wants to discover the secret of his mother's ability to defeat Shang-Chi's father. She agrees to assist, and the two begin to fight. She then demonstrates the power she and her sister wielded. She explains to him that if he wants to use his mother's power, he must truly accept himself. On the other hand, Wenwu and his men arrive in Ta Lo. He demands that the gates be opened and that his wife be allowed to leave. They refuse to comply with his demands. The battle begins when Wenwu orders his men to attack. Wenwu ignores the battle and heads straight for the gate in the midst of the chaos. Shang-Chi notices his father approaching the gate and pursues him. Wenwu visits his wife's shrine, allowing Shang-Chi to catch up with him. Shang-Chi gets into a fight with his father, and is blasted so hard that he flies deep into the water. Wenwu arrives at the gate and attempts to open it with the power of 10 rings. Wenwu's punches cause the gate to rupture, allowing a winged creature to escape. The creature breaks free and flies towards the village, attacking the swordsman and being unaffected by his weapon. Only the weapons made in Ta Lo are effective against the demon creature, and Shang-Chi's aunt saves the sword guy. They agree to collaborate in order to survive the demons. More demons are being released through the gate and are making their way towards the village. While still unconscious underwater, Shang-Chi sees memories of his mother from his childhood. When he regains consciousness, a dragon appears in front of him. It is the mighty guardian. The great protector emerges from the river, accompanied by Shang, who is riding on top of her. During the battle against the demon, Shang and tells him to stop his father from opening the gate. He goes on great protector to his father. He leaps to his feet and sprints away from the gate, beating his father. Wenwu attacks with vigor, hurling 5 of his 10 rings at Shang, but Shang deflects the rings and turns them golden. He has seized control of the rings just like his mother did before. He had taken control of all 10 rings during the fight in a matter of seconds. He intends to murder his father, but he discards the rings. The gate is suddenly destroyed, and the Dweller of Darkness is set free. Wenwu is located by the Dweller. It starts with his soul, and as his final act, he gives his rings to Shang-Chi, after which Wenwu dies. The Great Protector protects Shang-Chi from an attack by Dwellers. The Dweller decides to travel to the village, but the Great Protector forbids it. The Great Protector attempts to submerge the Dweller in the water. Dweller is on the verge of being trapped, but is saved by demons who give him the souls of the Ta Lo people and Wenwu's men. This energizes the Dweller, allowing it to break free from the Great Protector's grip. The Dweller seizes the Great Protector and begins to suffocate its soul. On the other hand, Xialing is also captured by Dweller, but luckily, Katie has been practicing archery for a few hours and is able to save her friends by shooting Dweller. Now the Great Protector has broken free and is attempting to retrap the Dweller into the lake. While the Dweller is trapped in the water, Shang-Chi takes advantage of the situation. Shang-Chi finally dispatches the Dweller with his father's 10 rings, bringing the film to a close. During the mid-credit scene, Wong introduces Shang and Katie to Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers, who have been researching the ring's origin. They're apparently acting as a beacon to something, which will definitely tie into Marvel's upcoming storyline somewhere down the line. A post-credits scene sets up even more drama for Shang, as it's revealed that Xialing has become the new leader of the 10 Rings, despite telling her brother she would disband the organization. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button to not miss any video from us. Thank you.